is. Thinking differently, thinking more broadly. You know, your knowledge has got more concepts in it.
John, can I just ask
Yeah.
you, just having a discussion here about types of students we've got at our school, the mixed ability and the new arrivals, no English background. What does that tell us about those students? Is it because they don't know how to use the strategy, or is it because they really don't have any knowledge about that topic, or very little general knowledge about a lot of topics?
I mean, it could be telling you any of those things. If I were the teacher and I was going to assume when I started to teach that all of the children were bringing together the relevant knowledge, that assumption wouldn't be appropriate. If I knew that there were children from other cultures who may not know much about the Australian culture, I'd want to put a different title here, because the idea is that when you move to a place that's different from where you've come, and there's nothing there, it's going to be a struggle. You know, you're going to have to adjust in some way. And so I'd want to reframe this. So I really got at the real focus of what I'm assuming the kids need to know. And what they need to know is that when people go to an unfamiliar place to live, what they already knew may not work. And so I'd probably, if we could reframe that in another way, I would do that. I think that's a really good point.
Sorry, John, I'm just thinking from a prep point of view too,
Yeah.
because we have children coming in a similar way. Would you not embed the concept first before you move on?
Yeah, with prep, what we've done with the primary children is we've put the covers of books here. We've put pictures. You can do the secondary just as well.
That's what I'm saying, that links
Yeah.
to sector. It's the same process.
It's the same process, but I'd be using different information. So what we've done with the, and in fact, this would actually be, because where we've been using it, we haven't had a high level of people coming in with little English. In fact, what might be good here, even at the secondary, might be an accompanying picture.
We think it would be good to get a page of the text and take all the text out and just leave the headings and the pictures and
Yep.
and then that's a more
That'd be a great thing. In fact, you can imagine just taking, let's say at Andrea's school, just taking, say, 10 pages from different texts that the kids had to learn about later. You kept the headings, or you might even modify the headings, and you just have some pictures showing what it was like. And the children, if the rest of the page was blank, they could write their responses on that page. Would make it very realistic. That'd be a very good way to do it. And that would actually help to bridge that gap. So that's a task for getting knowledge ready. One of the tasks we've been using for vocabulary is this. Now, when we did the exercise for looking at reading, you all read the text that had these two words in it, vociferous and bathed. Now, in order to assess the children's vocabulary knowledge, what we do is we give them a text like that is written at a readability level that matches their grade level. So if we were talking about year 7 and 8, we'd have text that had a readability level of grade 5, grade 6. They'd have text like that, and then they have to say what the two words in bold might be. And the way we assess their outcomes there is they either say it's something to do with trees, the trees have fruit, the trees are full of fruit, and the trees are full of berries. And you can see how bit by bit, the quality of the answers actually changes. Now again, we've done this with both primary and secondary, and the task is just to give the children a paragraph that is written at a reasonably easy readability level for them, and the children have to work out what the word might mean. Does that make sense? And so you just give them a few of those, and you'll soon see how well the children can tell themselves what the word says, that they can read it, or that they can work out the meaning. And another activity you could obviously have the children do is say what they did. How did they work it out? Did they know what actions to take? I don't want to make a big deal, and I don't want to push those any further, but they are some of the tasks that we can use to see how well the children can actually use the strategies. Now, obviously, I could give the children 3 or 4 sentences and ask them to write a paraphrase of each of the sentences. That would be assessing their paraphrasing knowledge. I could give them 4 sentences and another 4 sentences. And the second 4 sentences are paraphrases of the first, but they're mixed up. And the kids have to decide which 2 sentences match. That would also be measuring their paraphrasing. Does this make sense? Yes. What I'm saying is that we can have tasks that specifically measure how well the children can do each of the strategies. I'm happy to give you more examples of these if you want them in later sessions.
Yeah.
Okay. This could be part of our audit, but the point is that these, I'm just wanting you to be aware that these are what like the frames are. It's not, I don't want you to take, the reason why I haven't given you the specific vocabulary tasks is that every school, particularly in primary, they're all different. But they're all using this same basic idea. But you need to make sure that the readability of the text is 1 or 2 years below where the grade level is. And I think I've shown you all how to work out readability using the computer, haven't I? Yeah. I'll show you again. I'll get out of this, just in case you don't know how to work out readability with the computer. In fact, what I'm going to try to find here is some work that I was doing for the department, where I designed a reading task where we've used all of this. Sorry, I'm just